Hello everyone, welcome to the live show of Shivan Door, and I'm Nina, your host today. And guess where I am now? At different production scene. We have a lot of finished products around me, beautiful panels. And guess what we are going to do today? We are not going to see the production or see the dumper room. We are going to see something different today. Among all the procedures of our production, assessment and inspection is very important. So today we are going to see what kind of inspection we usually do like daily to make sure the quality of your products are perfect. And follow my step and follow the camera. Behind me now, here is our quality inspection center. So of course, this is only one part of our inspection. We have all the procedures from the start to the end before it comes to your home. And today we are going to show you some of the instruments and the procedures inside of this room and what we usually do over here to make sure of your quality. And follow my step again and let's see what's inside. So here is our, let's say, kind of lab every day we use to inspect our raw material and as well some of our finished products. And we have a few of the instruments over here, and we have some of the samples. And if we come inside, we will see a lot of experiment proceeding. Some is getting ready to test, some is already getting tested. And by my left hand over here, this is an instrument for everyday work. So no matter who is a person in charge that day, they all know what kind of work they are going to do daily to make sure all the procedures are under control and at 100%. There are some experiment for the density, for the impactor, for the color, and so on and so on. And by my side over here is one of our finished panel. So as we introduced earlier, this is like our regular panel, the finger protection one. And what we usually do to test the finished panel, one very important part is the assessment of the density of the PU foam material. So we need to make sure, like we usually have them on our paperwork, you know, the density usually is around 45, which is qualified. So how we make sure all the benches, before they go out, they go shipping to your home, they are qualified as this number, as this density. So that's what we do over here. I will do a small test and show you how we usually do the density experiment every day. So what we do is usually peel off the steel over here. This is a finished panel, as I said, but I'm not going to show you how to peel off the steels, and that's a procedure. So we usually peel off the steels and get the PU foam material out, and it will come to like this. Of course, this is already cut, so it will be a big part of the material. And what we need to do is to cut it the center part, because by the edge the density might be not that accurate, so we need to cut all the edges. And to get to the center part of the material like this. And here is electronic scale we usually do to measure the weight. And what we do, everybody know the Archimedes principle. We are using Archimedes principle to measure the density of the material. We put it on the scale and get the number of the weight. And then we put the water onto it. So now we get it back to 0 and put the material into the pot. Until it's stable. This density is a bit higher over here. It comes to 51. Why is that? Of course, if the density of the material is higher, some of our customers are looking for it. But our regular one, which is 45, but why this one is 51? As we see outside, we have some benches which is customized pieces, which is from some certain customer. They require the PU foam density higher than the usual. Of course, if you have same requirement, you can always tell us. So the grade will be different than the others. Of course, we will have different prices and so on, but as we said, the regular one, the density will be around 45, and we have the limit how up and down it could be. But here for this bench, the density is over 50. The standard is 50, so now it's 51 is perfect for this bench. And this is, as I said, one part of the assessment we do every day. And we'll go to the next step and see what else we do. Here we have some instrument, some equipment, we use every day, and I'll talk about them later on. And by my right hand, there is a machine which we call it fume impactor. As we see, as I feel, this one is very heavy. What we usually do is, do we want to show you guys how to use the machine, or we do it next time? Let's do it this time then. Okay. This is one of our material. So you guys all know the basic material of our garage door panels. They are galvanized steel. On top of the galvanized steel, they are fume, they are different colors. This is called fume impactor to measure the strength and the tension of the material surface. So what we usually do is to put the material over here, and by the measurements over here, there are figures over here. I'll open it, screw, loose screw, and there will be noise a little bit. So we hear very strong punch onto the material, right? What we get over here is like this, a big punch, but we need to see if the surface is still stable as the big punch. That's one part of our daily work. Every time when the bench of the raw material come into the workshop, we need to get the sample and do all the testing over here. And this is one part of the testing. Next time, if we have other chance, we will show you some others. But this is one part of the test. And here you can see there are some getting ready to test, some already tested, which is marked. And by my side, there are some other equipment. We do the daily assessment every day as well. For example, this one is to measure the color-wise to for our personnel over here. And we have the record as well. And the machine, I'm not going to use them. For this machine, what we use them for is, we know for the standard color, we have, for example, gray color, which is, let's say, IL7016, and every bench of the color will be a little bit different, of course. So we need to make sure the color difference is under certain permission and under certain limit. What the machine here do is for this part. We have some other machines over here. For example, this is for the luster of the color as well. We know, like, for example, the material surface. This is for the luster of the material surface. And this is for the coating of thickness. And this is all part of our daily assessment we do over here. And as we can see, there are a lot of samples as well behind me. And these are part of the samples we keep over here for the records. And by my side over here is a bending machine. It's also for one part for the raw material, for the bending and the tension assessment of the materials. Here, this one is the color assessment cabinet. What is this for? Of course, color assessment is one part for color again. And for here, we all know there are all different wavelength of the light. So if we are outside, we see the color of the panels of our garage door or industrial door, or if we are inside, see the inside part of the colors, it will be differently. So what we do over here is we put the material color sample over here to see what is the color under different wavelength of the light to make sure the limit is under the permission as well. So this is also one part. And as we see over here, our personnel who's in charge of the quality control every day, they will do the record to make sure all the raw material and the finished product, they are all qualified and as the standard before they get onto the production line and before they get into your home. We have, of course, a lot of other different part of inspection, like I said in the very beginning. Like, for example, before we get all the materials onto the production line, and after it's finished one part, we need to measure the diameters and the figures of the bench according to the requirement of your order. And after it's all finished, after it's finally cut, and get onto the final part of the, let's say, packing, before they get packed, we have another kind of assessment and inspection, so on and so on. What I'm trying to say here is we have all the procedures to make sure all the raw materials and all the finished products are 100%. And today, I think it's about time to say bye. And next time, when we have opportunity, we'll show you some other parts, some other parts of our production, some other parts of our assessment or the procedures. Bye bye for now, and see you next time.